Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Just welcome, everybody. Um, it's a beautiful day here in North Carolina. As you can see, it's kind of cloudy, but the sun is out a little bit. It's a little overcast, and we're excited about going over to Go Giver today. And hold on a minute. See, let me get this straight. Okay, we're back. Okay. Yeah, we're excited about going live today. We're so excited. Can't wait to talk about the Go Giver. Just wanted to invite my tribe, all the Blessed to Work people. Just wanted to let you know that you're not alone today. You are with me and I'm with you. And we just want to invite you to learn something new and take the opportunity a few minutes to review this book, The Go Giver. Um, and I'm just so excited to be here. I just want everybody to know that, sometimes we feel challenges in our career. We're not really sure what next to do. And sometimes it's just a matter of being a given person and opening up yourself to that energy of giving and actually receiving as well. Um, let me mute my phone. So let me go ahead and get started. 1 second. Let me share my screen. Let me get our Facebook. Okay, let me make this. Like this, present this. Okay. So basically, the Go Giver is basically the Go Giver is a book that has a little fictional story about a guy named Joe who seeks out a mentor who's named Pindar. And Pindar is a very influential guy. And Joe is trying to figure out like how did he, get all of this influence and stuff. Um, and so we're gonna review that book today. Um, and of course, who am I? This is Sonia Cameron. I'm Sonia Cameron. I'm the author of the book and companion journal, God, Please Help Me Find a Job. The book came out last year in 2020, and the companion journal came out last month in 2021, January. I have over 25 years of experience working in corporate America. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I have a lot of information that I want to share. And also, I have a blog at blessedtowork.com. Been doing that for quite a while now, and just want to make sure I give as much information as possible so that people can have success in their career and they can be successful in finding their dream job. So basically, as I told you before, Joe is the main character of this book, and his mentor is Pindar. And Pindar basically teaches Joe five laws of stratospheric success. And so we're going to talk about those laws today. Um, Basically, the first law is a law of value. The law of value is basically giving more than you receive in payment. And a lot of times you may experience that in a retail environment. For instance, I had a situation this past Christmas where I purchased some Coach bags for some of my family members, and I didn't receive um, the bags in time for Christmas. I was kind of disappointed about it, and I gave Coach a little, review. And they asked me in a survey, well, how happy were you with your service? And I basically told them, I wasn't happy because I didn't receive my gifts in time for Christmas. And basically, what they did was they sent me a gift apologizing. And, that's part of the law of value is to give more than you receive in payment. So they sent me a free gift as, and encouraged me to continue to be a customer. And there's another principle down in New Orleans. They have like a custom where you buy something from a merchant, they give you something extra just on general purposes. They always do that. So if you visit New Orleans, think of that when you make a purchase somewhere. Next slide. Um, the law of compensation. So basically, the law of compensation involves like the number of people that you serve. In the book, what uh, the main character ends up doing, Joe, he ends up serving coffee to his colleagues. And he felt funny doing it because the laws, the laws that Pindar taught him, Pindar told him, you have to implement each law the day that you learn it. And so he felt funny serving coffee to his colleagues, but what he realized in the end that he received more joy in serving his colleagues than actually doing the service. Like he just, enjoyed giving. And that's one of the principles of the laws of stratospheric success is that giving puts you in the position to receive. So, and the law of compensation means the more people you serve is the more compensation you receive. So, if you serve one person, you're not going to receive a whole lot of compensation. But if you serve thousands of people, hundreds of people, then you receive a larger amount of compensation for that. And that's part of the law of compensation. Okay, the next one is the law of influence. So basically, the law of influence is your influence is determined by you placing other people's needs and interests first versus yours. And a lot of times people are afraid to do that because they feel that they may get cheated. When you put other people's interests first, that you might get cheated out of something. But, Pindar taught Joe that when you put people's interests first, you create a relationship, and it deepens the relationship when you put other people's interests first. Um, and that's something that's not always easy to practice, but the more you do it, the easier it is to do. And it helps you with networking and not sometimes people think networking is, I scratch your back, you scratch mine, like quid pro quo. But networking is establishing relationships. And when you establish a relationships, it broadens your sphere of influence. And that's something I want you guys to keep in mind. So the next law is the law of authenticity, which means the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. That's in any form of business. The greatest asset of a business is the employee. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable they are. Um, and a lot of employers don't realize how valuable their employees are. But you have to stand in your value and understand that you bring a lot to the table. And that's something that you need to keep in mind when going on an interview, is that you're not just asking to be an employee, you're asking to bring value and to add value to that corporation. Okay. The next one is the law of receptivity. So the law of receptivity involves actually being open to receiving. And a lot of times people aren't open to receiving. They always think, well, what's the catch? If somebody gives them a gift or somebody gives them a compliment, they're wanting to know, okay, now what do I owe you? It's back to the quid pro quo. They always think, there's something that's wanted from them. If somebody gives them a gift, they want to know what do they have to give in order to receive. But sometimes it's just being open to receive is, part of the laws of stratospheric success. That's a mouthful. I know. Okay. And I think that's the end of the laws of stratospheric success. So you guys want to know some examples of where you can apply these laws in everyday life. Like the first thing I want to say is, when you have asked to be given a survey and you've been given great service, give a generous evaluation. It doesn't cost you anything to give someone a 5 stars or a 10 in a survey. And actually, there have been a couple of times when I've received really good service. Like one time I was calling Old Navy because I was having trouble purchasing something on their site. And the lady that helped me, she gave me some coupons and showed me some other things that were on sale. She was just really went out of her way to make sure that I was a happy customer. So when we finished the transaction, I asked to speak to her manager, and she was surprised. But what I told her is that I wanted to give her a commendation for doing so much to help me as a customer. And she really appreciated that because that made her look good to her management. So it doesn't cost any money to do something like that. And that's part of giving. All it costs is a little bit of your time. So the second way that you can be a go-giver is to do something to serve someone without being asked. And sometimes that is not just to serve someone in corporate America, but it's also to serve someone at home, like in your family. you know Sometimes, just is it could be as little as washing the dishes, after someone else cooked. That's like a show of appreciation. It could be as little as, you know opening the door for somebody, or folding up some clothes. I mean, it doesn't have to be a whole lot, but it may take some time, but it doesn't have to cost a whole lot to do something without being asked. And the third thing, this is the law of receptivity. A lot of times when people get a compliment, if somebody says, "Oh, you have on a nice dress," or a nice suit, they say, oh, this is nothing, this is old, or I wore this last year. Don't say that. Just say thank you. That's a law of receptivity. Just being able to say thank you and just leave it at that. Um, and then another law, way you can apply these laws in everyday life is give a listening ear. Actively listen in a conversation, because a lot of times people are um, just waiting to talk, you know, and they aren't really paying attention to, the conversation. They're just waiting for their turn, and instead of actively listening to the other person in the conversation. So that's another thing you can be mindful of if you want to be a go-giver. And the fifth thing is the law of authenticity. And sometimes, in the age of social media and everything, I think sometimes we may be, in competition with each other. But the best thing to do is just to show up as yourself. Even in the business world, just be yourself and not try to, supersede anybody else. Just be who you are, and, bring your authentic self to the table. And that is a key to being successful. It's just to be yourself, and, contribute where you have the greatest skills and abilities. And God will bless that. I really do believe that. Um, let's go to the next slide. So basically, as a recap, there's the law of receptivity. We talked about that. The law of influence, which is more about networking. The law of value, which is giving more in service or value than you receive in payment. The law of compensation, which is the more people that you serve, the more you get in compensation. And the law of authenticity, which is just being yourself, being your best self. Bring your best self to the table on a daily basis. Um, and basically, I gave this presentation as an encouragement to all of my tribe. And if you are interested in some of my books, I have books that are available on Amazon. The God, Please Help Me Find a Job, 21 Prayers for the Job Seeker, which came out in 2020. And this year, God, Please Help Me Find a Job, the Journal and Job Search Organizer, which came out in January of this year. So I just want to thank everybody for joining. I'm gonna take some questions. Let me exit this and stop my screen sharing. And so if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you don't have any questions, I just want to thank everybody for joining me and participating today. I'm just excited to bring this material to you, to teach you some of the things that I'm familiar with that have been part of my success, just being a go-giver. In addition, I want to offer anybody that's interested in an audio copy of my book, God, Please Help Me Find a Job, 21 Prayers for the Job Seeker, in the audio format. Please email me at blessthework@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a great day.